So what do you think, what do you all think is missing from the black LGBTQ movement, and what's different now than it was?
Ooh, how much time do y'all have? Because I didn't really think about it.
Let's go for it.
I don't mind starting. I really have been thinking about this. What's missing is a conscious, intentional development of our leadership with some goals in mind. We are doing leadership as though it is some kind of abstract, applied to everything kind of concept, and we need to be doing one that is applied to the political movements. We need inspiration, and we need structure. Chuck Willey, who was a sociologist at Harvard, talked about having a movement involves having people, money, and organization. You need the people, you need the money, and you need an organization to run it through. Because if you don't have the structure, it dissipates, things get messed up, people get accused of things, and people do wrong things. We need to believe that we are leaders, because we don't believe it. We need to believe that our young people are leaders, and we need to help them find some way to direct and use that leadership that they have. They influence the entire planet with music and dress and style. Now, why we can't get them to do some more things? And we, black, lesbians, and gay folks, have an understanding of the overriding society that will help us teach them. You know, I love what Chris Rock just said about advancing. He said, black people didn't advance. We've already had people, because Obama's president, that we have advanced so far. He said, we didn't advance. We already had people who could be the president. It's white people who advance. They recognized that. So we need to take that and flip it. Recognize it. Use it. We need to reformulate the way we think about this oppression. I've got it so I don't even like the word anymore. I think we need to be looking at the government saying, the state governments, the city governments, whoever is blocking rights, you are a thief. I was born here. I am a citizen. I got everything on the day I was born. You didn't even know I was gay. You didn't know I was black till I was born. But I was a citizen. And implicit in that is every right given to a citizen. And you stole mine. You stole mine when you found out I was black. You stole mine when you found out I was gay. Give it back, damn it. It's a whole different attitude. It's not about, oh, Lord, give me my rights. I don't feel that. And it's not about, you're a bad person, except you're a thief. You have stolen something from me. I think there needs to be a rebirth of the idea that we are dignified, strong, relentless, courageous people. Because we're not giving that off at all. We're not giving off that dignified part most of the time. We're not giving up. We give off the courageous part. But I'm talking about that part that says, I know who I am. Nigga is not my name. I do not answer to it. You may try to talk to me that way, but you must be talking to someone else because I don't hear you. I'm talking about that part that says, I know who I am. That dignity. That strength that comes with that. We're not helping to formulate that sense, or I don't see us formulating that sense, in younger people. I see us formulating the self-righteousness, I see us formulating the courage, I see us doing a lot to encourage resistance. I want some more. I want us to model that world we want to be. That world that we believe in, we get to model it. Because we are not, I don't believe we're modeling it if we're burning and tearing down and yelling at people and calling names. I want to see us model who we want to be. I can stop there, or I can go on another 20 minutes. I have been putting time in, thinking about this.
And I haven't really put time in thinking about it in the terms that you're thinking about, and maybe even in a political sense. But there's something about having the memory of when we, as a community of African American, lesbian and gay, bi community, when there was more of a need to be with one another. So I think that there, in my opinion, there's kind of like this generation of my peers that when we did get together, we saw the joy in it. And I think simply by being together, there was a political element to that. But there was also this embracing of our culture, and this great need to be with other people who appreciated that culture. And that nationwide connection that I talked about earlier, the fact that there could be someone in Portland and you are from New Orleans, you're from Southern California, you could be from St. Louis, I could be from Chicago, somebody else from New York. You come together in Portland, and all of a sudden that one Aretha Franklin song you connect to, that dish that people would bring at the potlucks, you could, no matter what part of the country you were from, it was amazing the things you felt you had in common, this shared culture. And so I think as I feel as if as my peers get older, life takes over, and you don't have as much energy to do that. You have other focuses, and so then I have this desire for young people to maybe younger people maybe to bring that to the table. But I think one of the main things that is happening in the culture today is the technical age. And so I think there's so much that's making people draw within themselves and not seemingly to me, not have as much of a need or an appreciation to kind of share that culture. There's a part of it that I think, the main part of it I think is sad to me, but the idea that there's more of a presence of people of color in the culture, just like there's more of a presence of lesbian and gays in the culture, it kind of eliminates that need or that desire to kind of come together as a subgroup. I don't like the idea of subgroup because it just seems like it's below, the main group. But there is something to be said for within this day and time. There's not as much a need to seek out lesbian and gay role models or even African American role models as I feel there was when I was growing up. I mean, that whole concept of black people seeing a black person on television and everyone, talking about it the next day. There were so many things that really created that community, and there's so much about today that kind of makes that community dissipate more and more. And I think there's an upside to it and a downside to it.
I don't think I'm as discouraged as I've heard the two of you. When I was young, I remember hearing the older folks talk about my generation, how we were missing it, how we've lost something. And I remember saying, when I get older, I don't want to be like that. And so I think part of the key is it's really important for those of us who are older to find ways in which to connect with the other generation. And not so much in "I told you so" mode, or you, but one of, I think, in following up on what you were saying, in listening and sharing.
Yes.
Technology, see, that's why we need one another. So, how do you work this thing, son?
That's right.
So I think it's important to have those type of conversations and be able to meet people where they are. At the same time, I'm very much a part of my generation, and I really value some of the things the two of you were saying. I mean, my granddaddy was a race man, and I don't even hear that term anymore.
Right.
But that's something
Yeah.
that was drilled in me, and to celebrate your people, and to respect your people, and to honor your people, and to care for your people through the struggle. So there's something to share, but there's also something I can learn from the younger folks. And it's all of how do we build a large enough community so it includes, as you were saying, all of us.